Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, first and foremost, before we get started, I don't feel good. I don't sound good. I just am not in a good place right now. Physically, I just feel like crap. I'm getting over a really bad cold. My body is still getting used to being back in the Northeast where we actually have seasons. And so because of that, I did catch a cold, a pretty bad cold. I have a huge cold sore on my upper lip that I cannot for the life of me conceal no matter what I do. So I gave up on the idea of trying to film like an in front of the camera kind of video, and I just decided to go ahead and just do this kind of production where I just sit and with nothing on the screen and just talk to you guys, kind of like a podcast sort of deal. So hopefully you guys enjoy this format. If you do, it would make things a lot easier for me, especially in the future going forward, because I'm not having to worry about, putting on makeup and doing my hair and looking presentable for the camera, which honestly, I know people are like, well, why does that even matter? Just go on camera. It's not a big deal. But I myself feel better when I'm able to get on camera looking like a human being and not like a sick zombie like I do right now. So that's the reason why your screen is black. It is supposed to be black because I just don't have the energy to be on camera right now. So that's that. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to get better since Christmas is next week. So I'm kind of like forced to just be in bed and relax. So I figured I would take this time, since the baby is asleep in her room, I would take this time to sit down and just get all my thoughts out about the situation that, quite frankly, has been going on for a very long time. This conversation of, this group of channels specifically being problematic in their own way has been a conversation that a lot of people have been talking about for quite a long time. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, you've seen it on Reddit, especially. There have been new drama channels now who cover the drama between the drama channels. We've come full circle, which is insane. I'm gonna try to do something that I have never done before, which is kind of hold myself back in this discussion, because I've seen, especially in the last few months, that people don't like my delivery. They don't like how bluntly honest I am. I mean, I've seen the comments. I have a full comment section in my held for review section. People are saying you're too mean, you're a bitch, you're this, you're that. And I've been told by other people as well. And it's funny because these same people come tell me that I need to kind of like calm down. They will go to these other channels, the other drama channels, and they will celebrate them for being nasty on purpose, or being like really, really unnecessarily shady, or just downright mean to other people. They celebrate that shit. So why is it that everyone else can have a shady approach to situations, but when I say something that's bluntly honest about a situation, I get told to be quiet or calm down? I just find there's an issue with that. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, for the sake of this discussion, I'm gonna go ahead and just try it out and see if it works better for me. Before I go any further, I'm letting you guys know right now, and I'm not playing. I will not tolerate a single comment talking about anyone's kids involved in this. I don't give a fuck what point you think you're making. You're not making it here. I will block you fast as fuck if I see a single comment making fun of anyone's kids or bringing kids into this. Families, I don't give a shit. If there's any issues with past drug abuse, leave that shit alone. That's not relevant to what we're talking about today. I don't want to hear anyone making fun of people's appearances. That shit's not cute. Stop with the nasty ass bullshit. Because eventually, the nasty things you say, they get to people. And sometimes these people, in order to deal with something like this, they do things that cannot be reversed. I don't think I need to explain to you guys or spell it out for you what I'm saying. Quit the bullshit. You know what? I want to take it one step further and say this. To my fellow creators, okay? I know everyone likes to say, well, I cannot control what thousands and thousands of people say on my channel. That's true. We cannot see every single comment and control every single comment. There are steps we can take to make sure that shit doesn't get said or posted. But as far as catching every single thing, it's just not going to happen, okay? But you know what? What you can do to combat that kind of shit is you need to be like, you know what, guys? I've seen this comment, or maybe even retweet it. I will not tolerate this kind of behavior on my channel or on my Twitter timeline. That's it. Condemn that kind of behavior. Because then if you're not going to condemn it, you're condoning it. And that's just not okay. Silence speaks volumes in regards to situations like this, okay? So if you're not going to put a stop to it, or at least say, you know what, I don't back this shit, then I think that that says everything that needs to be said about you as a person and not the person that's being made fun of by your fans. And the reason I'm being so adamant about the comment section is because I have been so disgusted by what I've seen posted in different comment sections, especially towards T by Ali. Okay? As everyone may or may not know, T by Ali was called out by Nick Snyder in a video posted a few days ago for being a liar. Okay? And I don't agree with his method, but she needed to be called out for her actions. I understand why he acted the way he did and reacted the way he did. However, what I don't agree with is the silence that I've seen in regards to, hey, guys, what you did was fucked up. Yes, we're not friends anymore. Yes, but that doesn't mean you have to go after this person for the things that you have been going after her for. Because one of the comments that I retweeted onto my Twitter timeline was a comment left by someone to Ali telling her that they hoped that she would overdose on too much heroin. In what world is that okay? I can never understand or even try to imagine what it would be like to go to another human being and say, I hope you kill yourself. I hope you overdose and kill yourself. That's gross. That people who feel comfortable doing that have nothing but hate and evil in their hearts. And let me tell you something. Whatever you put into the world is what you're going to get back tenfold. It may not be tonight, it may not be tomorrow. It could be 10 years from now on your deathbed, on your last breath. Whatever you put into the world, you're going to get back. Okay? And people who feel comfortable enough to go up to complete strangers and tell them they hope they take too much of a drug to pretty much insinuate you hope they kill themselves, those kind of people are toxic. And I have to admit, I felt bad for Ali. And I didn't reach out to her first. As a matter of fact, full disclosure, Ali reached out to me privately on Twitter. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, actually you guys did notice because you guys brought it up on my timeline and in my comment section quite a few times. I will say, to my subscribers, you guys are so quick to pick up on everything because the minute I unfollowed these drama channels for good months and months ago, some of you guys were very quick to come into my DMs like, girl, what's the tea? And I was like, it's not like that. I'm going to go ahead and just let things go the way they're supposed to. This was after I initially called out the bullying of the drama channels. I called this shit months ago, okay? Months ago, and I got dragged for filth for it. And people were like, you know what? Maybe you weren't the person to start the conversation. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Obviously it wasn't, because here we are now, but people are listening now, and it's fine. I'm glad the conversation's been started now by obviously the right people, the people who are supposed to start the conversation. And I've just been watching shit come out, and it's been a shit show. Now, one of the people who came for me the hardest in that thread that I did months ago, talking about and calling out the bullying behaviors in the drama channels, one of the people who went the hardest for them in defense of the drama channels and came hardest for me because of what I had said was T by Ali. Okay? So imagine my surprise, full disclosure, when a few nights ago I received a DM. Actually, it was in the morning, but I was busy with work and everything, so I couldn't read it till nighttime. But imagine my surprise when I opened my Twitter DMs and see a message from her. Number one, thanking me for coming to her defense against the nasty, vile-ass, vindictive, evil-ass tweets she's been getting. So she thanked me for defending her, in which I said, you know what, don't worry about it. I'm only doing what I think a good person would do or should do in that situation, especially with someone with my kind of platform. I don't have true hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I have 40,000 subscribers, I think, as of right now. That's a lot of people that I have influence over. So I'm only doing what I think someone in my position should be doing, what a good person should do or would do. And it's the same thing that I would hope someone would do for me if it were me in her position. That's just the way I am. That's the kind of person that I am. In that same conversation, I confronted her about her involvement in the thread all those months ago in which I called out all this bullying bullshit that's being talked about now. And she apologized to me. And I accepted her apology privately, so I want to do it publicly as well. Thank you, Ali, for coming to me and apologizing for that. I appreciate it. I forgive you. I wish you nothing but the best in the future. I hope that your channel does grow. And I think this is a big learning experience for everyone involved. And I only hope that people can just grow from this and just do better. You know, that's what we all need to do is do better. I told you guys earlier that I wanted to try to approach this subject matter a little bit differently than what's already been done in the last few weeks. So with that being said, the overall point that I want to make in this video is this. Ultimately, who we choose to support as far as subscriptions or donations in live streams or likes or dislikes, whatever the case may be, okay? Who we choose to support is up to us. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, well, how can anyone support people like Rich Lux or Petty Page or Nick Snyder or whoever else in that group? How can anyone support them when they're so obviously biased and they're being hypocrites about what they choose to and choose to not talk about on their channel? Well, the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, these channels belong to these creators. So, with that being said, unfortunately, if they don't want to drag Jeffree Star for being a shitty human being like he has been for a very, very long time because he's never changed at all, they don't have to. They can just go on pretending that he is a great human being who is just so good and doesn't have a racist bone in his body, even though that's kind of not true. But hey, they don't have to acknowledge it because it's their channel. If they decide that they'd rather spend their energy dragging Jaclyn Hill for the same fucking thing over and over and over again and dragging Manny Mue over and over and over again and dragging anyone else who isn't Jeffree Star for literally breathing for the 100 millionth time in a row like they have, they can do that because it's their channel. And of course, last but not least, if they want to spend their time on these really cringeworthy live streams, shit-talking people who were under the impression that they were on good terms with these people when in fact they really weren't the entire time, again, that's on them. When you pick and choose when you are against a certain behavior, for example, the best example I can give of this is when Peter Mon got dragged for tweets that he had on his Twitter however many years ago. It was like a long time ago, right? But you ignore and make excuses for Jeffree Star, Rich Lux, and now Paige's husband, who's been exposed for the same shit. Why do you make excuses for some, but drag the ever-loving fuck out of others for that same behavior when it's the same thing? Another shining example of hypocrisies exhibited by these channels is when just last year, Manny was exposed and dragged by pretty much everyone, including myself, before I woke up and took a step back and realized, why are we dragging this man for being a social climber? It's hilarious because didn't Jeffree Star social climb his way up to the top? I mean, look at all the friendships he went through. There is a common denominator in all these failed friendships. And let me tell you something. Look at the people who are all now best friends again or close friends or at least friendly again. And look who's lonely at the top. Okay? There's a reason for that. That tells you what you need to know. All right? That was A. And B, he was also dragged for being a shitty friend. And actually, going back to social climbing, if you're going to call out Manny or anyone else for being social climbers, call out your best friend Rich. Because isn't he like the ultimate social climber out of all of you? Let's be real. Because who's he best friends with now? Shane and Jeffree. And guess what? Isn't that social climbing? Really and truly, Rich is social climbing. Because out of all three of the people in that little friendship, whatever the fuck they have going on, he's the one with the lowest sub count. So he benefits from interactions, especially being featured in Shane Dawson's documentary, including Jeffree Star, being a pretty much a star character in it, in the trailers especially. So, I mean, it's mutually beneficial because Rich gets the exposure, so does Shane. Shane also makes money because he's collabing with Jeffree Star Cosmetics, okay? And you know damn well that check that he got from these launches, was amazing, okay? And Jeffree benefits because he has arguably one of the bigger drama channels in his back pocket, and he knows that because he has them in his back pocket, he also then has the rest of the drama channels in his back pocket. So they're going to give glowing reviews and just, not talk about the bad things. They're going to keep quiet about that shit. But they'll drag anyone who is not Jeffree Star or who is in competition with Jeffree Star, because that's how things go there. Is it not? Am I wrong here? I mean, didn't Rich drag Jackie Aina's palette before it even launched? Didn't he say it was like not worth it or some shit like that? I mean, come on. Could you be any more obvious? Really? So that's that on that. I mean, those are just a few examples. I'm sure you guys can think of quite a few more. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide who you want to support. They have made it very obvious where they stand on certain issues, especially where Jeffree is concerned. So it's up to you to decide if you are someone who can be okay with that and continue supporting them, or if you're not okay with that and you stop supporting them. It's up to you. I'm not trying to tell you, oh, stop supporting them. I mean, do I support them? No. I haven't in a very long time for obvious reasons. I think I've made myself very clear as to why. But it's up to you to decide who you want to support. I will say that I personally believe that to you, the new drama channels who are popping up everywhere, every single day, there's like 2 or 3 new ones. It's pretty funny. To those of you who have drama channels who are holding these drama channels accountable for their actions and words, you guys are their karma. I wholeheartedly believe this shit. Because I've also seen in forums, people say, well, if these drama channels claim to hold the influencers and these brands accountable for their actions and words, or their shitty actions and words, then who in turn holds the drama channels accountable for their actions and words? Or their silence, especially, has been the biggest issue in the drama community. People have an issue with the silence on some pretty big things, especially concerning Jeffree Star. So people have asked, like, who's going to hold them accountable? And then here you guys are, holding them accountable for everything. And they don't like it, which is why they clap back. They don't like being held accountable. But you know what? No one does. I don't. I fucking hate that shit. But sometimes when you grow up and you're an adult, you realize that it has to happen. Okay? Sometimes you need to get that clap to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I shouldn't be saying this. You know what I mean? Maybe I should try to do better. They will stay silent about Jeffree Star and the shitty things that he says and does to people, especially people who bring forward very valid points and questions concerning different products and quality of the products. And he snaps at them. Like, just treats people like shit for bringing forward very valid points. Imagine if it was Manny. But imagine if it was one of them speaking to their customers the way that Jeffree does. I mean, these people would be dragged for the next 100 years for this shit. But because it's Jeffree, mum's a word. My final point is this. Once again, like I said just a few seconds ago, you guys, the new drama channels, you're their karma. Because for so long, they've said, well, we're just holding these influencers accountable. We're just holding these brands accountable. In some cases, they do. I will give them that. But more recently, because of their affiliations with certain people, they think that they're pretty much untouchable. And no one can say anything against them or expose them for anything. And that's just not how that's supposed to go. And of course, these channels don't want to be called out, but that's something that I feel like is so beneficial to growing up. Because let me tell you something, I've been called out many times by many people close to me for things that I've said or done in the past. Many times. But I took those opportunities and I looked at my behavior. I looked at what I said and how I approached certain situations. And I listened to what they had to say and I applied it. And I tried to do better because especially now as a parent, as a role model to my own daughter, my main goal in life is to always try to do better or be a better person every single day so I can raise a better person to be in the world. Okay? Not to get cheesy, but that's my truth. All right? That's my goal. My only goal in life is to be a better person so I can raise a better person for this world and leave behind a better person for this world. Because what I think this world needs, especially more recently, this world needs better people. And if that means holding people accountable for their shitty actions and calling them out for saying something shitty, by all means do it. And you know what? These people are going to deflect. They're going to try to discredit you for the things you say and the arguments you make. But that unfortunately comes with the territory. It sucks that it does, but when you start doing videos like this on people and you start exposing people, this kind of behavior is something that happens all of the time. What matters is that you come correct, you argue a very valid point, you don't go off and start calling people out of their names or involve people's children or families or past drug issues. You just come correct, you lay out the facts, and allow your subscribers to make their own viewpoints and own opinions on matters. And that's all you can do. Call out the bullshit, but do it respectfully. And if they try to come at you that way, in a nasty way, call them out for that too. Why shouldn't you? So yeah, that's that. I'm done. I'm tired. I need to get some rest. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of long. I know it's kind of boring since it's just a black screen, but I am not in any shape to be on camera right now. I'm so sick. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing holiday week. Christmas is next week. I hope you guys stuff your faces with good food and have amazing times with your families and get all the presents you want from Santa Claus or whoever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.